question I have is when you introduce this, and I know you also talk to corporations at time and different organizations, because I do think that is a huge part of creating the right culture for an organization, right? You want to create the same. I mean, first of all, mindfulness certainly is a big part of creativity, I'm sure. When you introduce it to organizations, what are the initial responses, and then what do they? I mean, there's that may be difficult to categorize as the typical response, but what are some of the responses you've had when you've brought it to organizations?
Yeah, it's, at least in my experience, it's been met very positively. People, everyone kind of takes what they find useful or interesting and they'll discard the rest. So vast majority of people find something helpful or even life-changing. But when I introduce mindfulness, I tend to introduce it experientially without me talking much about it. I just kind of say, hey, thanks for inviting me. Can you share something that you like about your job, something you like about your company? And I'll honor their answers. And then I'll say, well, what do you find challenging about your role? Or what do you find challenging about your work? And then I'll listen and I'll validate it and say, thanks for sharing that with me. Very understandable that you'd have these challenges at work. And I'm here to help you with some evidence-based practices that you can try to see what works for you. And then without telling them I'm going to lead them through a meditation, I'll just lead them through a meditation. I won't say close your eyes and get into a full lotus, but I'll say, just see if you can notice your feet on the ground, your belly moving, and see if you can sense into your body a little bit without judging it, just noticing. And I'll lead them through like a 10-minute practice. I'm looking at them, they're looking at me. I'm just kind of seeing if they can notice different things about their experience and maybe wish themselves well and wish other people in the room well. And say, congratulations, you just did a 10-minute mindfulness practice. Like, how was that for you? And 9 times out of 10, people say, when I was reflecting on the challenges of my work, I was feeling a little stressed, but now, after I kind of opened to my experience, I feel much lighter, much freer, much more present and grounded. Or people say, I didn't know that was mindfulness. I thought mindfulness was that dogmatic BS. Or, and so they'll say, oh, that's mindfulness. And I'll say, yeah, it's just this, just noticing your experience without judging it, period.
Yep.
And so when I introduce it in that way, people tend to let their guard down. I also invite skepticism, and I'll honor it. Say, yeah, don't have to believe anything I say. Just give some of this a try, see what works for you. If you don't like it, that's fine. If you're like happy and successful and everything's going great, wonderful. Maybe I can take a class from you. I could learn a few things from you. So I'm not there to like convince anyone of anything.
Right, right.
And typically corporations appreciate that. And they'll take what they find useful and discard the rest.
Excellent. If somebody, a listener, wants to explore engaging you for their organization, how do they reach you?
They could go to mindfulnessexercises.com. I have my contact info there. Yeah, I'd be happy to see how I can serve them.